Don't you worry, sweetheart. I'll find you. I promise.
Let me tell you the quick story of what looked like an extremely promising and ambitious game at the time that unfortunately turned out to be scamming a lot of people out of its money, including me, for the simple fact that the developers of this game completely misled people with how everything was done. I remember being so excited for this. I really thought it was gonna be like a new, fresh and awesome Left 4 Dead experience, thanks to its exciting trailers showing the game's characters, the story of what to expect and the environments. Oh boy was I wrong. Overkill's The Walking Dead turned out to be complete garbage from the beginning, with a massive part of the budget getting put into the beautiful cinematic trailers instead of the actual game. And it's actually pretty sad how many people were tricked into this. Now, at the time of this video, even the developers are hiding from its own creation and don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's get into it from the beginning. It was August 13 of 2014 when Overkill's The Walking Dead game was announced through a multitude of social medias, and that completely blew up at the time, due to the series' popularity at the time also. People were really excited to see that an actual FPS survival game in the Walking Dead universe was coming, and I can't blame them. 2014 was the show's best year and really showed what a greedy, dark, zombie-infested world would look like. Even though the announcement of this game was exciting, well, this announcement was kind of random because people still had to wait 4 more years to play the game, which would release in 2018. Nothing happened for 3 years until in fall of 2017, the first official reveal trailer of Overkill's The Walking Dead was released out of nowhere. I remember covering it on the channel and people were so excited. The trailer was so well received that Overkill, its developers, saw the hype and could just not mess this up. Of course, the trailer was all CGI, nothing in-game at all here, but it just looked so good and exciting that people just assumed they had a lot of money for both the game's publicity and the actual game. They just couldn't do this to us, right? Just misled people like that. Then came the game's second trailer in April of 2018 with the game's second character reveal, Maya, a normal nurse looking to save people from an infection. Of course, things take the wrong turn and the trailer turns very dark in an instant. Again, this was a really exciting trailer. Then after that came the last 2 trailers of the 2 other characters, Grant and Eater, in May and June respectively. Again and again, they were perfectly made and not very hype-inducing for people waiting on an ambitious zombie game. One thing to note here though is that between all these trailers, we've never had any footage of the game. No gameplay trailer or things like that, but you could already pre-order the game. A lot of people started to notice what was wrong, and a lot of them went into the comments asking for a gameplay of any kind. It had been 4 years since its announcement and the game had 5 trailers and still no actual gameplay of any kind. You couldn't even know what the game was really about. Was it just a Left 4 Dead wannabe clone? Then came the game's gameplay trailer and it confirmed our worries. It's just a Left 4 Dead clone, but worse. Even worse than Back 4 Blood, for example, which is kind of good. The gameplay trailer had way less views than any of the CGI trailers, and that is when people started to notice how much money went into the CGI trailers instead of the actual game. Was it gonna be any good and the gameplay trailer was just bad? Well, no, because the game went from having 50,000 players right at release in November 2018 to less than 8,000 in January 2019. Overkill's The Walking Dead was very quickly abandoned because of lack of any content updates and an overall lack of being a good game. It was just another one of those co-op FPS games that turns out to be nothing like Left 4 Dead. Overkill's The Walking Dead had boring missions, boring weapons, and an extremely boring story. Not only that, but the graphics and overall gameplay was just so generic. There really is nothing special about this. Just go there and do that, but in the most boring ways possible. The developers had reportedly worked on this game for 5 freaking years, 5 years, and they couldn't deliver something that would be playable or liked for more than 2 months. I'm not sure what went wrong here, but it was that bad. I can't believe there's still 30,000 people playing Left 4 Dead every every single day at the moment of this video. It just shows how much replayability and also modding is important to a game like this. So Overkill's The Walking Dead was quickly abandoned and Overkill was forced to cancel the game, literally taking it out of Steam and cancelling the upcoming console releases. Overkill counted on the hype of The Walking Dead to make some quick cash on people buying the game at release without them having seen any gameplay, because it's Walking Dead and it's cool. That of course didn't work for most of the people, thankfully, and so the game was never to be seen again. Overkill kind of started the trend of cool CGI thrillers with no gameplay at all, and I'm thankful for this because now the people are more aware of what's going on and don't even care anymore about CGI thrillers. They want gameplay and that is it. At least we had some good things out of this. Alright guys, for more revisit of games like these, make sure you support this video and of course subscribe to stay tuned.